Lucian has absolutely no idea where the bag came from. Based on what we've been through so far in the tomb, we are not taking any chances with something like this. The rest of us immediately check ourselves for unknown items while he strips the bag off and throws it on the ground. Using his old hand that he animated, we head back to the testing room with the bag. Placing it above the vat of acid, we prepare ourselves for what could possibly be inside as we slowly open it up. Inside, we find just a single book, wrapped in red skin. Lucian identifies it as the Abyssal Mundus, a spellbook animated from the chaos of the abyssal plane itself. Inside should contain the secrets of demons that no mortal should ever lay eyes upon, and it has chosen Lucian as its host, as he is one of the few mortals on this plane that could possibly ever understand the importance and implications of the secrets held within its bindings. Lucian wants to know everything. But we don't want him to die as the information floods his mind, or kill us if he's driven to insanity by what's inside. So I prep Lucian by shaping the stone around his hands and feet so he's restrained, and I call upon a Modron to assist us in learning this forbidden knowledge. Before us appears a 6-sided Modron. We explain the situation, and it assures us that it can help. So we give it some gems because they have a fetish for angular things or something. It approaches Lucian and extends tendrils from each of its sides, piercing them into his head. In front of him we place the Abyssal Mundus, and things seem to start happening, so we give the two their private time together. After some time, the Modron bids us adieu and pieces out, leaving us with a very enlightened Lucian. He now possesses the ability to use the book, giving him a set of spells from within it, namely a greater teleport and one that summons a big scary monster. Not the same big scary monster, but big and scary nonetheless. We should use this with caution, however. This book is wanted desperately by certain demons that want the secrets kept secrets, and each use of it has a chance to reveal our location to the wrong demons. Alright, so now that Lucian's mind has been sufficiently perverted, we continue on to find a door with 3 slots in it. While we're fiddling with it, I put 3 of my newfound spears in the slots. A crunching sound echoes as the door breaks my spears and swings open to reveal a room full of pillars. While we're discussing what to do next, we find out that the door swings shut after about 30 seconds, so I draw up a rig to line up 3 more spears to the slots so that we can yank on them with a mage hand from inside after we get locked in. We look around the room, and in addition to the pillars, we see 2 more of the goblin heads like we saw at the end of the first hallway in the tomb. 3 doors, the charred remains of unfortunate souls surrounding an orange gem, and a throne with a crown and scepter placed upon it. First things first, we do a methodical sweep of the area, procedure style, to make sure that we don't hit any traps in the floors. It goes well until Scotia touches one of the pillars. Immediately he starts floating upwards. After I finish laughing, I toss him a rope and add 1 Scotia balloon to my inventory. We find out that each and every one of these pillars are all magically trapped like this, and send any victims towards one of the goblin heads, so we decide not to touch the pillars anymore. I also eventually feel bad for Scotia, so I bring him back down with a remove curse. After getting a feel for the area, we decide to check out the gem. Good news! Lucian identifies it as a gem of wishing. Bad news, he also figures out that it's cursed. Fuck that, not touching it. Next, we check out the throne, crown, and scepter. The throne has a replica of the crown on it. The crown and scepter are both magical. This seems like it's important, but none of us are willing to touch them, so we move on to the 3 doors, put the throne and stuff on the back burner. The first door we open has absolutely nothing inside. Sweet, I always wanted an empty room. The second door opens to a small room with swords and shields on the walls and a door at the back. As we reach the precipice into the room, the swords and shields start rattling on the walls, so we go ahead and close that door. The third and final door holds a sarcophagus and some sweet loot on the floor. Fuck yes. Scotia collects the loot and starts heading out before he stops.
Well, we might as well check out the coffin while we're here.
He pries the lid off, revealing a mummified corpse. Very dead, but fortunately not very undead. In its eye socket, he finds a gem which looks incredibly valuable. He reaches for his next big paycheck and pulls it out of the corpse's head. As he celebrates his success, the gem he's holding disappears, crumbling into dust and falling back into the casket, from which rises a corpse with newfound life, presumably from the gem. Scotia books it on out of there, putting as much distance between him and the mummy as possible. The mummy eyes him as Scotia retreats back into the pillar room, and from his sarcophagus he raises his mummy arm and points it towards the man that disturbed his slumber. A black bolt of energy streaks from his hand and clashes against Scotia's body, dead center. Blackness begins spreading out from the point of impact, filling his veins with dark energy. He collapses and takes his final breath as he succumbs to the wicked peacefulness of death.